Take a look at this stone. I am full of life, but this stone is looking like this. Is it because that I'm wearing lab coats? No, it is because I have life ability in the life kingdom, but this stone does not. Do you know the characteristics of living things? We use Mr. Niger D to represent it, which stand for movement, respiration, nutrition, irritability, growth, excretion, reproduction, and death. And we also have adaptation. So I'll be using a real life activity of a business person to explain the basic meanings of all these things. As a business person, you do not stand in one place for a long time. You also need to move around and look for customers, and that is movement for you. So living things also, they do move their path, or they can also move around. But do you know that plant is an introvert? Are you surprised about it? It is because instead of it to move towards other living things, it prefers to move towards the light only. And you also need energy to be shouting and be calling on customer, and that is the work of respiration. So living things also, they need respiration to break down food and release energy. But if you not chop, where the energy go come? That is where nutrition comes in, because living thing needs nutrition for the source of energy. As you just dey yourself, so somebody will just come from nowhere, come carry wetin you dey say. You will not just sit down and be looking at the person. You are going to react, and that is just how living things also do. They do sense and response to their environment, and that is irritability. As time goes on, the business will be increasing, that you might even want to open a branch, and that is growth for you. So living things also, they do grow both in size and in complexity. When you come to your shop, you will sweep your shop and throw away the dirties. That is how it is when it comes to living things too. The body do remove anything that it does not need, such as your urine, your poo, and that is excretion. As time goes on, you might be like, oh, I need a child that will take over this my business, and that is reproduction. So living things do make version of themselves, so they will continue to exist. But it will reach at a time, a situation will change just like that, and you'll be pushed to do something about it. So living things, they do change also in order to survive their environment, and that is adaptation. But one day will come when people will look for you. They no go see you, no be say you know dey serious for your business, but it was just due to a call of nature, and that is death. So every living thing must pass through this phase. I want to ask you a question. Is virus a living thing or non-living thing? Alright, let's see virus as your phone. If your phone is dead, you cannot make use of it. But once you start to charge it, you can actually use it. That is just how virus is. Actually, virus in outside normal environment will seems to be lifeless. But once it gets into any living thing, boom, it becomes active and start to act. Do you know the levels of organization of life? As you are now, a lot of things were put in place in order to make you. Even that house that you are living in, a lot of things were done in order to build it before it becomes a house. Alright, let's see these levels of organization of life as a building plan. If you want to build a house, you know that you need a block, and let's consider it as the cell. So the first thing we are going to look into it is the cell. Let's see the cell as the block. And you know that block is needed to build any house, and block can stay alone. Likewise, a cell can stay alone. Example is amoeba. This amoeba, it has 4 legs called pseudopodia, and this pseudopodia, it can actually use it to wrap anything in one chop and engulf it. That is phagocytosis. And another one we have is euglena. Euglena has something we call flagellum. It looks like a finger, and it uses it to swim. And this euglena is very greedy. It is very greedy because this euglena can actually make its own food by the help of sunlight, because it gets something where we dey call chloroplast, where they help am do am. But one thing is this: if sunlight no dey, this euglena will still feed on other things. Is it not amazing? The next one we have is the tissue. Alright, let's see tissue as the wall. You know that different bloods come together to make up a wall. That is how different cells come together to make up a tissue, and we still have organisms that only exist in this stage. Examples are hydra and jellyfish. The next one we have is organ. Let's see organ as a room. You know that different walls, up to 4, come together to make up a room. That is how different tissues come together to make up an organ. Example is your liver, your heart, your kidney. The next one we have is the system. Let's see system as a flat. You know that different rooms make up a flat, and that is just how different organs make up a system. Example is the circulatory system, your respiratory system, your reproductive system. The last one we have is the organism. Alright, let's see the organism as the whole house. You know that different systems come together to make up an organism, and the example of it is you. Do you know that plants and animals are not the same thing? We have features that separate them. For plants now, they make their own food through the help of sunlight, because they gain wetin dey help them do am, which is called chloroplast, and that is why we call plants autotrophic. But for animals now, they don't have it. They have to move around and look for their own food. As e dey now, if you don't go look for wetin you go chop, hunger go kpai you. Another one is that animals can actually move part of themselves, and they can actually move around and go to many places they want. But for plants now, they no fit do am. Who dash smoking banana? They can only move their part. Or have you seen a plant wey dey waka? Thanks for watching. See you in my next video. Take care.